Last week I made a decision to leave the city. It wasn't planned. No schedule, no specific destination. Just one quiet voice in my mind saying, I need space to truly listen to myself. So I packed my bag, a water bottle, a flashlight, a small notebook, and a promise. I need to find the fire I've lost in the rush of everyday life. Later that day, standing at a high point overlooking the vast forest, I opened my notebook and wrote, I want to understand. Why do I always feel stuck? In that moment, I could finally see the invisible walls I had built around myself. Walls that weren't made of stone or steel, but of habits, fears, and false comfort. They had names: safety, stability, familiarity. But truthfully, they were just disguised limitations. I wasn't living. I was settling for what was easy to accept instead of what was truly meant for me. I imagined myself standing in front of a mirror, but not the one at home. This one was in the middle of the forest. No lights, no makeup, no distractions. Just me, facing myself. And this time there was no looking away. I saw the old scars, mistakes I'd tried to forget. I saw the days I fell apart but smiled anyway. I saw the moments I laughed when all I really wanted was silence. And for the first time in a very long while, I didn't turn away. I realized I didn't need to be perfect to be worthy of love. I didn't need to achieve greatness to have value. I just needed to accept myself. Accept that I'm human, that I will make mistakes, that I will be fragile sometimes, and that doesn't make me any less. I learned to be gentle with myself, just like nature never blames a tree for shedding its leaves too soon, just like the sun still rises, even after the storm. Because when you begin to love and forgive yourself, only then can you truly move forward. Sometimes I wonder, why do people spend their entire lives in a reality that doesn't make them happy? Why do we cling to jobs that drain us every morning? Why do we stay in relationships where we constantly feel like we're not enough? The answer isn't that we don't know we deserve better. It's that we've gotten used to it, used to enduring, used to sacrificing ourselves to keep the peace, used to saying, it's fine, I can deal with it. We learn to call that stability. We call it being mature. We call giving up on our dreams being realistic. But deep down, we know the truth. We're not making peace. We're making a deal with fear. Fear of change, fear of failure, fear of being judged. And so we continue day by day, living inside a familiar cage, but never truly free. The most dangerous prison is not the one that locks you in. It's the one that convinces you there's no way out. Opportunity doesn't sound like an alarm clock. It doesn't show up with spotlights or flashing signs. It rarely announces itself. Most of the time, it walks by quietly. It arrives gently. And if we're not ready, it will leave the same way it came, without a sound, without a warning. The danger isn't in losing it. It's in not even knowing we had it. We're quick to recognize the cost of a wrong move, but it's much harder to see the price of doing nothing at all. Every night you scroll instead of reading one chapter. Every morning you delay making a change because it's not the right time yet. Every time you stay silent when your voice is needed. Each moment seems harmless on its own, but together they become a year, a decade, a life. And one day you look back and realize you don't even know what you lost. All you know is You ran out of time to chase it, so don't wait for opportunity to knock. Learn to build the door with action, with intention, by refusing to let life pass by on autopilot. We often believe we need a perfect plan, that we must know exactly what we want before we take the first step. But the truth is, no one ever sees the whole path from where they stand. We wait for the right moment. We wait to feel ready. We wait until we have more confidence. And so we keep waiting until the moment is gone. But readiness doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from the courage to move despite the uncertainty. You don't need to see the entire road, just the next step. You don't need to have all the answers, just a quiet trust that you'll figure it out along the way. And if you've been waiting for a sign to begin, this is it. There's a truth most of us don't want to face. No one is coming to save you. No one is stepping out of a fairy tale, reaching for your hand to lift you out of the darkness. And even if someone cares deeply, no one else can walk your path for you. Life is not a draft you get to rewrite. Every decision you make is shaping you bit by bit. You are the writer. You are the director. You are the lead role. And yes, you are also the only one who can truly rescue your own life. Maybe you've waited for someone to notice your pain. Maybe you hoped someone would change so you could finally be happy. But eventually you learn this. If you keep waiting, you'll end up waiting your life away. So lift your head, build your own ladder, rebuild yourself from the ground up. Even if it's cracked, even if it hurts, no one knows your heart like you do. And no one else can bring you back to life but you. We often admire those who go far, fast, the ones who achieve great things, who build big legacies. But we forget, every journey starts with a single quiet step. You don't need to make a breakthrough every day. Some days, the most courageous thing you can do is simply not give up. There are mornings when you rise with fire in your chest, and there are others when you pull yourself out of bed with nothing but willpower. There are days when you accomplish great things, and days when just breathing steadily is an act of quiet bravery. Both matter, both count. Don't underestimate the power of small steps, of quiet effort, of showing up when no one's watching. Because real success is not one shining moment. It's hundreds, thousands of small, quiet decisions made over and over again. Decisions to keep going, to keep believing, to keep becoming. Someday. It's a phrase we whisper to ourselves like a quiet promise. Someday I'll live true to myself. Someday I'll quit this job and do what I love. Someday I'll have the courage to say no. But life happens, and that someday keeps getting pushed further away, faded, blurred, forgotten. The truth is, there is no date circled on a calendar. No magic hour when everything finally aligns. That day will never come unless you choose it. One moment it hits you. What if today is the day you once dreamed about? The day you stop asking for permission to be real. The day you walk forward, even if your voice shakes. The day you lift your chin and finally say, I deserve more than this. Don't let someday stay locked in a distant future, because if not today, then how many more todays will you let slip by? We spend so much time looking ahead, at the goals we haven't reached, at the versions of ourselves we've yet to become. But sometimes we forget to turn around, to see how far we've already come. So pause, take a deep breath, and look back. Look at the days you battled sadness, yet still smiled. Look at the nights you were exhausted, but finished what you started. Look at the moments you stumbled, then quietly stood back up even when no one noticed. Every one of those moments matters. They've built you into who you are today. You are not who you used to be. You're stronger than you think, more grounded than you realize, more resilient than you ever believed. And most importantly, you didn't quit. You kept going. And in a world where giving up is easy, that makes you extraordinary. There's no perfect moment to begin, no magical morning when you wake up thinking, today, I'm 100% ready to change my life. But here's the truth. Courage isn't about having everything figured out. It's about moving forward, even when the path is still unclear. You don't need to become your best self before taking action. It's action that will bring you closer to that version of you. So start small. Make one bold decision. Have one honest conversation. Take one step outside your comfort zone. Don't wait for a miracle. Be the one who creates it. Don't wait for permission to live honestly. Be the one who gives yourself the right to be real. Each new day is a door. You can choose to open it or walk past it. But here's the truth. The moment you step through, something inside you will shift forever. So if you're hearing this now, if something deep within you is stirring, then maybe, just maybe, today is the day. Not to finish it all, but simply to begin. Thank you for walking this path with me until the very end. And if you've been waiting for someone to give you permission to change, let this be that moment. You can, you're worthy, and you're ready. Today is yours. The journey is yours. And success, it starts with the attitude you choose. Right attitude, real success.